Welcome to Mr. Bacon Pants Plays Games. Today we are back with Dominion. And the reason we're here today is because while I play a game, I want to have a discussion about the price of this game. So, since it's YouTube, my videos stay on, until I remove them or YouTube removes them. So, there's a lot of activity. People still watch them. And an interesting comment kind of popped up. Now that this game is, getting a little bit more a wider release, people are starting to find this new version of the Dominion card game. And the question on the price, and it's been something that I've been thinking about as well, as the price of this version of the game, and really all versions of this game. And what are my thoughts on it? And this is really going to be a two-way discussion. So right now it's a video. I'm not talking to anybody. So you're going to hear my point of view, but I'm hoping in the comments you share your point of view, and we can have a discussion about it. I will kind of let you know right now that I am a software engineer. I build apps, not games, not that fun, but applications that probably many of you have used. I work in a very important industry in apps. So I'm sure a lot of you probably have used apps that I've worked on or my teams have worked on. So I have I kind of know what happens behind the scenes, to make these games and to develop this software. And so I may have a slightly different view, um, than I think a lot of people who don't maybe have a background in engineering or software programming, development, whatever. Because I understand the amount of work that kind of goes into this. But we're going to go ahead and play a game because I don't want to just like talk because that would be kind of boring. I actually want to kind of play this game. I haven't played it in a while. I think we'll do a two-player hard AI. We're going to do an expansion, just the base game, because as you know, I could pick Cornucopia or Empires because those are in free rotation right now, and that will end once it gets a wider release. So you will have to buy the expansions to play them, which is a segue in the topic of this video as I play. So yeah, we're just going to do base game because I want to talk and kind of talk somewhat intelligently. So I don't want to, have a hard one, with cards that I don't recognize. We're going to try to do a kingdom with no attacks. So just something I can play solitary. I don't have to worry about the computer doing anything. So I think we'll do that. And we'll do standard rules. And let's do create. All right, computer's going first. So let's go ahead and just look at what we got. So we have the chapel. Trash up to 4 cards from your hand. Awesome. I love having trash in the kingdom, like a trash card that lets me trash. We got this card, +1 card, +1 action. Look through your discard pile. You may put a card from it into your deck. Love that. Workshop, gain a card costing up to 4. So basically, you get a workshop and you can just grab a card. I don't know if there's too much 4/4. Well, I guess, gardens. Gardens, yep. So basically, I'll be buying that, especially as my deck gets fatter. Oh, another trash. You may trash a copper from your hand for +3. So turn that copper into silver. Let's do it. Remodel. Whoa, this is like super trash heavy. Trash a card from your hand, gaining a card costing up to 2 more than that. Here's the thing about trash heavy kingdoms. I can't hide too much behind luck because you can pretty much control and thin out your deck, and so it makes me nervous because it's a little bit more skill level. This is +2/+1, so laboratory is probably going to be a good card draw engine that doesn't end my action phase. Draw until you have 7 cards in hand, skipping any action cards you choose. Set those aside, discarding them afterwards. Ooh, we got the market, +1 card, +1 action, +1 buy, +1 money. Again, I think laboratory and market will be kind of good. I think market would be better near the end of the game when I do maybe have a bunch of money. I can do multiple buys. Gain a card to your hand, costing up to 5. Put a card from your hand onto your deck. So basically, I gain a card costing up to 5, and I can put a card in my deck. So that means that I can use Artisan. I can grab a market. I can grab a laboratory. I can really kind of grab anything that I want that I think would be helpful in the turn. So I think I want to do Moneylender because I would rather trash and get silver than trash and get nothing. I know this is a very aggressive. I think Chapel will be good near the end. Mm. It's actually counterintuitive to gardens. So I don't know if gardens is going to be something that we buy in this game with all this trashing going on, but we'll see. So we're going to go ahead and play the treasures. I think I'm going to go ahead and get a Moneylender. What did the AI do? Oh, they bought a remodel. So yeah, it looks like they might want to get something else. All right, so let's talk about the topic at hand, the cost of this game. So there is a base game price, right? A price you have to pay to get the base game. And you also get that daily challenge. So it's not like you don't get to play like a variety of Dominion cards. You will, I could use a workshop and use it to grab. I don't know. It feels like a dead card. I think I'll do +1 card, +1 action. I think I'm gonna do this guy. So you do get the base game plus the daily challenge. I think one thing that concerns me is how each expansion, right? So I buy the base game. Each expansion costs anywhere between $7.99 to like $10, right? And I can understand the concern. I can understand that like wait, is it? Oh yeah, I can buy anything I want. You can trash a copy from your hand for a +3. Okay. So right now I have 5. And I can understand what people like the concerns. I feel like if I have 5, I need to buy one of these. All right, I'm gonna do a laboratory. But I got to be careful because I also need to make sure I replace money, which this turn is a better money. Grab the silver. Okay. Anyway, so I understand the concern, right? So like if all the expansions cost that much, right? I mean, $7.99 for the I believe is the cheapest one last time I checked. I'm not sure. And we know how many expansions are in Dominion. I mean, we're talking like over $100 to buy every single expansion in this game. That's a ton of money to me, right? I mean, yeah, you know, yeah, it's a lot of money even if you have a decent job. Because it's like it's a hobby, right? It's like nothing, and it's not even tangible. So I think it's a lot of money. So like I understand where people's like concerns are, where they're like, oh, I don't know, I don't know if I want to invest in this because it's like so much money. But here's the thing: there's 2 points that I want to make. One, you don't need to buy every single expansion. People don't buy. I mean, there are people who do buy every single expansion in the physical game, but you don't need to, right? There's certain expansions that I don't like. Like there's like, it just adds a little bit too much complexity, or like I don't like the extra cards it does. I don't like the mechanics, and so I won't buy them, because I'll never want to play it. So that's one thing. Number two, the number so nothing's forcing you. It's not like a competitive game where you need to buy expansions to be competitive, right? So yeah, you don't need to buy every single one. You can buy what you want. So that's point one. Point two is yes, even though these are digital cards, right? And and like there's no like physical property that you're buying. You're still buying someone's time and effort to program those cards. And I think the reason why some of the expansions cost a variance amount of money is I think it's based on like how much time it took them to like code those cards, right? Were there extra mechanics? Is there different game states? Do they have to kind of maybe change certain things and do a little bit more debugging because there's a little bit more card complexity. And they also got to see how those expansions you play with all the other expansions and make sure there isn't any weirdness there as well. So I think like the amount of complexity of an expansion dictates the price. Okay. And so you're paying for someone's time and effort that it took them or took this company to build this expansion for you to purchase. Also note that like that's worth something, right? So you need to pay for that effort. Like nothing, if it was free, the company wouldn't exist. expansions wouldn't exist, the game wouldn't exist. So they need to make their money somehow. And this is a way that they think, okay, well, we'll allow people to buy the expansions they want. And by doing so, they're going to support the effort that we did to produce them and produce this game. And then they will continue to make expansions when the second editions come out of the future, or the, like as they're going through the backlog and doing the second editions, they'll be able to update those because they'll have revenue to pay people to be a company and to continue to support this game going forward. So, that's kind of what you're paying for, and that's the value that you should be seeing. This is a very niche community, right? Very niche community. It's very small. So they have to make money somehow. And so they want to make sure they're doing it in a way that adds value to us, right? The consumers. And I feel like they're doing a pretty good job. Especially how fast they come out with these expansions. What is this gear? This is new. You can change settings to individual cards. If copper is available, always trash. So I could change that option. Cool. That's new. Look at that. I can change how this card... See, this is what I mean. Like this. Like, it was fine before, right? It was fine before. The game was good. And yet, here they are adding things like this. Where I can say, hey, when I play this card, ask me. Or, nah, I'm always going to be trashing a copper if one's available. I mean, this is what we're paying for, right? We're paying to support a company. We're paying to support the company to continue to make this game. All right, so now we're back at that weird position where I have 5. I really wish I had one more gold to just get or one more, coin to get a gold. All right, let's go. I also think it's a little bit annoying if you purchased other versions of this game, right? There was other companies that made, versions of Dominion. I feel like I need to get a little bit more silver. But man, what a waste of 5 gold. I mean, laboratories are good. I mean, it replaces itself. You just keep drawing. Let's just do it. That you would be like, oh, I got to rebuy into this and whatever. But I honestly think that like this company is in it for the long haul. It's a very, well-known game company. They made a lot of other great versions of games. They're really proud of their AI technology. That's another thing you're paying for. You're paying for an AI to know how to play this game, especially with like all the expansions and card play and complexity. And it actually plays relatively well, and it doesn't seem like it's a robot. I mean, I don't know. I think it's worth the money to me. I do agree, though, that it is expensive. It's if you buy every expansion, like it feels a little unreasonable to me. I'm not so I support the concern that yes, this is an expensive game if you buy every single expansion. I mean, even buying like 5 expansions, if you buy the $10 ones, that's $50. It does feel expensive. One day I'll have a discard pile and I'll be able to do that. All right. Let's do moneylender. Play all the treasure. So it's like now, do I want to do a market or do I do an artisan? I think doing an artisan, right? So I gain a card to your hand costing up to 5. Now you got to be careful. I need to have another action, right, to be able to play that. That's the rub right there. That's right now I have 0 actions. So it's like, I kind of have to plan around it. I hit the wrong button. I wanted to look at this because I was seeing I wanted to see if there was one that gave me like more than 1 action, but they all kind of just replaced themselves. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a waste of 8 gold. That kind of hurt. Speaking of wasting money on expansions for a game. I guess I could do remodel and get rid of the estates, but I think it's a little late for that. Maybe it's never too late, honestly. Man, I'm already up to 10 money. This is like my second turn in a row. Do I start diluting? Let's do it. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, are you willing to support this game? Do you want to buy the expansions? Um, you know, do you feel they're too expensive? Do you think they should lower them? I feel in my mind that they should at least, at the minimum, give me a bundle. You know, give me a bundle. Let me bundle them. Get a discount bundling because honestly, like I will, and like they should do it where, um, yeah, maybe they just bundle like certain ones together. Maybe there's not a bundle for all of them. I mean, I'm not sure. Does the designer of the game think it's appropriate to buy every single expansion? I don't know. Probably, right? But I don't think they really mean for you to like mix them all together and play some chaotic kingdom, right? Maybe there has to be some type of order to the chaos. I don't know. I mean, or could they change their business model and have it be a subscription based, right? Where, for $10 a month, you get access to all the expansions. Like that'd be kind of cool, right? Give me a subscription model. There's been a couple game companies that have been doing that. There's actually been a couple game companies, board game companies that make digital adaptations, like for Concordia, who are doing like the Game Pass model, right? Where you have this idea that you pay $30, for the first season of content, and you get that content as it comes out and as it's ready. I mean that's kind of cool, right? So it's kind of interesting take on that, kind of copying what like other digital games have done. I really thought I was gonna win. I was, man, that was a mad dash to the end. I feel like if I should have bought that Providence that one turn that I had 8 instead of like accidentally clicking Laboratory, maybe it would have been a different game. I'm not sure. Let's look at their deck though. I want to see what they did. Okay, so they had one remodel, 2 laboratories, and a market, and they just had like a really tight deck. Um, but like yeah, kind of light, honestly. Yeah, that was really their deck. That was it. Um, my deck was probably a chaotic masterpiece. So I had this Harbinger, which really never hit. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't. It wasn't coming up. But then I had Moneylender, which I think was good. Got rid of all my coppers. I had 2 silver, which I feel like. How does that work? How did that work? Because I feel like I had big money turns. Yeah, I feel like something's off here. I'm not sure. That's yeah. How did that happen? I mean, this only gives me 1. Oh, I think because yeah, I was probably trashing coppers. Yeah, maybe that was what was going on. Oops, I don't want to undo. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it was yeah, because we don't know what was happening during those turns. I think I might have been yeah. So if I was trashing a copper, that's 5. I had a silver, 6, 7, 8. If the gold, so okay. And I was like drawing like tons of cards with laboratory. So yeah. Anyway, that was interesting. I really do like laboratory a lot. But yeah, man, I lost by 3 points. Well, 4 points if I wanted to win, not tie. But yeah, anyway, what are your thoughts on the store, right? So we have, quite a bit of expansions here, very expensive. Are you willing to invest in this game, to support this game, to continue to make advancements in this game, by supporting this company financially? Do you think there needs to be like a bundle where you can bundle some of these together, like maybe intrigue and seaside, or prosperity and cornucopia? I don't know. Like, is there value in maybe like having discounts there? will there be Steam sales where we can buy all these expansions cheaply? I'm not sure. I don't really know what the future is for this company and like, how they want to, run their business. But I feel like these expansions are really there for us to say, hey, we are enjoying this game. We're going to support you. We'll drop $7. And think about it. I was talking about the subscription model. You know, I was saying, hey, $10 a month, get all the expansions. Well, maybe buy an expansion a month. That's $10 a month, $7.99 a month, depending on what expansion you get. And it's a way to support them and a way to kind of get some fresh content in your Dominion. Like I said, you don't need to buy them all. This isn't like some competitive game where you need to buy it. It's like a pay to win. You just buy the ones that you want. Or if you do want to buy them all, just slow roll it, just kind of reintroduce yourself to this game one expansion at a time. Get bored with it, buy the next one. Get bored with it, buy the next one. They also have other games, that didn't have this aggressive, expansion model. And these games haven't really gotten updated that much, right? So Roll for the Galaxy, I think, came out with one expansion. There's a couple more they could still come out with. Roll for the Galaxy the same way. And then Shards of Infinity, just came out with the base game with no expansions. So I feel like this company is like, hey, we still want to support these old games. How are we going to do it? Well, we have a very popular game in our lineup called Dominion, and has a lot of expansions, and maybe we can, have our community pay us for the value that we give them, which is, by coding these cards, testing them, making sure they work, having an AI that understands how to play with them correctly, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, but again, I see the point. It is expensive. And if you feel it's expensive, then don't buy it. But if you want to support the company, buy them. I feel like maybe if things were like $2 cheaper, it would be a little bit better. Like $4.99, and the most expensive one being $7.99. But again, I'm not the company. I don't know what the overhead is for these people. I'm sure they set the price to what they feel is a fair price for this. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. See how it shakes out. Let me know what you think about it. I still really, really enjoy this game. And like I said, while I was playing, I found some new enhancement that they added in some update. And it just shows me that they really do care about this game. And so I see no problems dropping a little money their way to show my appreciation and to have them hopefully keep supporting this game into the future. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Please let me know what your thoughts are on the pricing model of Dominion. As our community grows and as these board games get released, I think a lot of companies are going to be looking at Dominion, looking at Cornucopia, seeing like what model works the best. And we'll go from there. I think I kind of like subscription models where I can pay, especially a game like this has so many expansions, and I don't think it's reasonable for me to buy them all. I would love a subscription model that kind of gives me access, so that way I can support you and but not drop a huge amount of money, right? A huge investment. I can pay a subscription. I like the Game Pass model or Season Pass model. I think that's kind of interesting, where you're like, okay, I'll pay up front for everything. That at least lets the game development company know, like, okay, this is our revenue that we're going to have to support this, this season. So that's kind of maybe good for the company's perspective. And then also the piecemeal, which is what Dominion's doing, where it's like, hey, listen, we're going to give you all these expansions, but you're going to have to buy them all separate. It's kind of interesting. We're in an interesting time right now. I think it's pretty good to be a digital board gamer, and I'm excited to see what shakes out. And will they do bundling or not? I have no idea. I'm just happy that I have a really good digital implementation of Dominion with a fairly decent, interesting AI to play against. It doesn't feel scripted or doing the same patterns over and over again like a certain game that I play on this channel, Summoner Wars. That AI is very basic. This AI is very complex and dynamic. So anyway, again, thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe, and let me know what games you want me to cover on this channel. If you're like, hey, you haven't played the game that I love, it's your fault. Let me know, and I will play it. Thank you. See ya.